and welcome to TalkFCB, and welcome back again to the Champions League. It's time for more build-up. It is time for plenty more to come ahead of Barcelona against Napoli. There's so much going on here, and as you probably gathered, I am pretty excited for this round of 16 clash. It's the decisive second leg, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about those key battles that are going to be out there on the field in such a huge game in our season. We're going to be talking position against position, and a few very intriguing contests that are set to play out there on the field. It's all coming up in today's video, so let's get to it. And we do start right here with the goalkeepers coming into this game, because you know that in games this big, when the occasion and the stakes are this high pressured, you just know that goalkeepers, they can be the difference. Goalkeepers on nights like this, you either stand up tall, you either rise to the occasion, or you fall flat, and in the end, you could cost your team. And that's why I'm so glad we have Ter Stegen. It's in these kind of games that you look to your goalkeeper to be a leader, to really assert dominance and confidence there into your backline, and we need that right now, because we've seen all season long when our defence has been vulnerable, when we've been under pressure in games, if there's one man there capable of bailing us out, of rescuing us defensively, it is Ter Stegen. He can come up there with a big save at a big moment, and coming into a game like this, I'm so thankful for him, and I have absolutely full trust in our German wall. When it comes though to his opposite number in goal, number one, you don't even know who that's going to be, because for Napoli this season it has been much more complicated, because right throughout the season so far they haven't actually had an undisputed number one goalkeeper. You've got Merit, you've got Ospina, they've been sharing responsibility between the six all season long. Gattuso there has been playing one, then playing the other, chopping and changing, and that's not really the way you want to go with goalkeepers. Usually there you want a consistent number one who's in the team time and time again, and they know where they stand. I think they're chopping and changing goalkeepers. It doesn't really give them confidence. It doesn't really give them the belief they need. And I think in this one, what we need to do is something we didn't do in the first leg, and whether it's Ospina, whether it's Merit, you've got to pepper that goal. You've got to get some serious shots away time and time again, and just put the pressure on. Just put the ball there in and around the area and wait and see if a mistake happens. Because I believe here, if you put enough pressure, if you fire enough shots there in towards that Napoli goal, you might get a mistake. You might actually there take the advantage, and in a game like this, every mistake is magnified. The next battle, though, undoubtedly comes in midfield. We've got here Frenkie de Jong up against Fabian Ruiz, and I think this is an absolutely terrific battle, with both players in this game playing with plenty on the line. Because I think in this game, you look at it here, we're likely to see Frenkie de Jong playing in a deeper role than Fabian is going to be. And I think for de Jong in particular, it's a massive game. Probably the biggest game so far in his Barcelona career. Because to look at it on paper, there's no Busquets, there's no Vidal, with both players suspended. And that means what you have there is a lack of control in midfield, and you also have a lack of experience. And that's why we're relying on de Jong. He's the man now who's going to be a bit deeper in the field. He's going to be the hub of that team. He's going to be the hub of the midfield, bringing the ball there at defence. We're going to be relying on him to take the ball on in pressurised situations and get around that Napoli press if it comes. And I think here, de Jong will have been waiting for this game. I think actually this could be the making of him in a Barca shirt, because he wants this responsibility. He's wanted to be that man in midfield now ever since he arrived from Ajax. This is his moment. And I'm going to be fascinated to see exactly how he does. And then there's Fabian, somebody of course who is Barcelona fans we know so well. He's been repeatedly linked to the club for what seems now like absolutely years. And of course he's also somebody who's worked under Quique Setien himself when he was at Real Betis. And I think he and Napoli are going to be relying on Fabian for different reasons to Frenkie de Jong. I think Fabian here is going to see less of the ball on the night, but he is going to have to be really careful when he does get on. Napoli won't want to give away any sloppy possession. They won't want to be giving the ball away in bad areas. But also with Fabian, you get that goal threat. You get the fact there that somebody who can chip in with goals. You saw it there in their final game at the weekend against Lazio. A brilliant goal from long range. And you don't want to give this guy time and space, either to pick a pass or take on a shot. Because Fabian, he can decide games, and we must be very aware of that. And from young, exciting midfielders to veteran forwards, because that is our next port of call here with Luis Suarez up against Dries Mertens, because this right here is a battle of two very experienced forwards, and actually here, two players who are both 33 years old and are playing with plenty to prove after pretty turbulent seasons for both players for quite different reasons. You look at Luis Suarez there, he's had a very turbulent campaign, he's had injury problems, and when he's been in the team, he has struggled for confidence, he has struggled at times for form, and of course there has been criticism from him, from the fans, and even to be honest, I'm sure Suarez himself at times does want to do more. Right now though, at times you do get the feeling as though he can only do what his own body will allow him to do, but of course, he can still score goals. We all know that. We all know about his ability in front of goal to still put that ball in the back of the net, and that's what we need. For Mertens, it's slightly different. He did have an injury there at the start of the year, but mostly his turbulent season, he's been in and out of the team because of his contract situation. Up until a few months ago, his contract there at Napoli was expiring, it was running out, it didn't look as though he was going to stay at the club, but now everything is sorted, just in time here for the second leg, of course. He's absolutely fine, his future is with Napoli, and for that reason now, he's going to be hoping to come out in the same way that he did in the first leg. I think actually, when he went off injured in the first leg, the game did really change in our favour, because he's a big threat, not only there in terms of the goal that he scored in that first leg, but also his pace. That's the one thing you've got to be aware of in this game. Napoli are going to be looking to play on the counter, play on the break, and Mertens' pace, you've got to keep an eye on him, because we know defensively, we're not exactly blessed there with a lot of speed. You know that Barcelona are going to play with a high line, and that's why players like Mertens will be looking at this just thinking, okay, if I can get a chance, if I can make that run in behind, if I can get there into that open space, I can cause problems, and we've got to be wary of that. Suarez has got to do what he needs to do in front of goal. He's got to get absolutely every last drop out of his body in this game, put it all on the line, because we will need goals. Last but not least though, for me, is one of the most fascinating battles in this entire encounter. It is Lionel Messi up against Koulibaly. And I think here, Messi comes into this game in a very different situation. I don't ever remember Messi coming into a Champions League game with this sort of scrutiny placed upon his shoulders. Because right now, Messi does have a point to prove. It's not been an easy season for him. As a collective, Barcelona right now are going trophyless. As an individual, he's scored goals, of course, he's still got incredible numbers, but he demands more. He's demanded more of this entire team, and that's why right now, he will want to deliver. He will want to put all those doubts, all of those critics behind him, and in a game like this, do what he does best. You know that Messi, on these kind of occasions, he comes alive. And it's not going to be easy, because Napoli here have some good players. They've got, in particular, some good defenders, and none other than Koulibaly. Because of course we know that Messi technically is going to line up there in a wide position on the team sheet, but we all know that when the game gets going, he is going to come into a central area. And of course Napoli's game plan will be, don't allow Messi there to get one-on-one with anybody, not with any Napoli player, and not even with Koulibaly. But of course, we've heard about this Setien plan that wants to see Messi higher up the field, and if that's the case, he's going to be coming there head-to-head, toe-to-toe, face-to-face with somebody like Koulibaly and those Napoli centre-backs. And I think it's going to be interesting there to see, A, whether we can release Messi into that kind of area, if he can get space there in and around the Napoli centre-backs. Because if he can do that, if he can get 1 versus 1, 1 versus 2 at any point in the game, you would expect trouble. And you just want to get it there so that Messi gets an inch, gets half a yard, because you know that if you're Koulibaly, the last thing you want to do, the last job that you want to have is to stop Lionel Messi. In that situation, usually there's only one winner, and like I say, right here, right now, Messi will be ready. So those there, guys, are some of the key battles that I personally am very, very intrigued and also excited to see in this coming game. Of course, there's plenty more. You look at the likes of Antoine Griezmann. He, of course, has got a point to prove. I think you could look, actually, at the entire Barcelona team and say, you know what? They've all got a point to prove. You look at the coaches, Quique Setien and also even Gattuso. Napoli have not done well in the league this season. Everybody out here is going to be playing like a lot is riding on this game because you know what? It is. And that's what makes it so exciting. That's what makes it so enthralling. And of course, we're counting down the hours, counting down the days, until this one kicks right off. I'll see you soon, guys, with plenty more build-up to come. Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below on the key battles and the head-to-head encounters that you're most looking forward to. And of course, I will see you very, very soon indeed, with plenty more coming up. But until next time, as always, Vizca! El Barça.